Poep in de mic. Dus ja. Welcome to another episode of Drink Champs South Africa.
Babbling Heads Podcast.
Oh, we actually met the brother from
Drink Champs,
Drink Champs, no?
Drink Champs?
These EFF, no?
Yeah.
EFF? Something like that. I'm Mad Fingaz.
Yo, what's up? I'm the Base 187.
I'm Adrian K.
Charlie X2C.
And this is the Babbling Heads.
And I'm the only guy with a normal Christian name, Gerard.
Welcome back.
Gangster naam is
Abbreviations, hulle verstaan het hier sien.
Acronyms.
Dus hoeveel ik het zijn toen?
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Het hy Rona.
Ja, het is Rona. Dus wie is de eerste keer rijkante?
Yeah. So welcome back, Gerard. I think 3 times the charm. Third time the charm. So what's been happening up on your side of the world?
Nothing, COVID-19, but COVID-19.
Nothing.
Yo, somebody's talking in my ears.
That should be kicking in.
Yes!
Zijn goed dat ze dat. Kijk, ik heb gezien dat een tripje gehad. Ze gaat de jacht een beetje, hè?
Zit zeker als jachts?
Jacht.
Yeah, target shooting is a long hobby of mine. So I think for the last 8 years I've been shooting pellet guns. From the BB gun to the pellet gun, from the pellet gun now to .22, then it was 303 and now 375. On the next course I shoot 50 cal.
30 years up.
That's it. They
for bay.
So this is the like animals, what is those?
Yes, we do shoot some animals, yeah. So for 10 years I was shooting at targets and borreltjies and blikkies and sulke goed. Now I shoot animals, but it's not like we're just shooting it for fun. Everything that we do shoot, we do have right to shoot it, and a lot of license right, and a lot of the animals is eaten and sulke goed. So I don't eat it myself. They just tell me what to shoot. I shoot it. Hulle slag het. Hulle maak pigeon pie. Hulle maak ground squirrel fucking kippies en sulke kak.
Why don't you eat it?
Why don't I eat it? Because I'm a lady from the plane, me bro, man.
Yeah, we get it from the butcher.
No, we do, but the weirdest thing that I'm gonna eat, being a lady from the plane, is knickknacks op brood.
Bread.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like the same thing, because like once I groom a kitchen.
Once you groom a kitchen.
Once you groom?
A chicken myself, like I raise the thing and I kill it, I'm not gonna eat it. I won't be able to eat it.
Why not?
It's more personal for.
Yeah, that was like one thing as growing up. Like my granny also used to have chickens, bro. We just had a hoenderslag. Dan kap ik op met die buil en hulle by hoender rond sonder kop. That's like nah. But for me, like it wasn't the fact that the animal was actually slaughtered, was in the cleaning process of plucking the feathers. They usually dunk the chicken in like boiling water, scalding hot water, and that smell, that oil that it gives off. I was like, yeah, I could never handle a freshly slaughtered chicken.
It's like being third, bro.
Ja.
Nee, weet je, ze? Nee, weet schapen hebben ze?
No.
Het wat datenschapen, wat hulle gaat slag. Niks, ja, denk ik.
No, as obviously like in my time when I was practicing Muslim, we had to do Qurban as well for
Excuse
my
me, sir, practicing Islam?
Not
Muslim.
practicing Islam, yeah. Yeah, no, so we had to slag also, and also that meat is more, I say, more wilder than the commercial lamb will get. Because usually with the abattoirs, they must let the blood drain.
Yes.
But freshy stuff is like, yeah, it's a bit wild.
Het hulle gesien op by lewenssystem hoe die mense gereact terwyl hulle hier gesit hulle lewendige hoender in en dan gaan dit deur die masjien en dan kom maar hoender en dan you see how people reacted, they wouldn't eat it because like they will really see me the motor slag hier. They will really koop die wild hulle.
But check it also like with the shooting now, do you guys like do bucks like
Everything from ground squirrels all the way up to even shooting. Some of the people that I shoot with, that I train with, they actually shoot other people.
Yo.
They shoot poachers. This is a real thing. So there's people out there that a poacher will fire one round out of his rifle that costed him 60 or 70 rand because they're using a high fucking groot bullet.
Big caliber,
60, 70 rand a bullet. He shoots a rhino. He takes the rhino's horn. He brings it to Cape Town. Cape Town sends it to wherever, and that same horn is now $500,000 rand or $1 million rand or whatever and whatever. Right? Now, on the other side of the spectrum, you also have people in helicopters and in the bush that must protect these species. So they actually shoot poachers because what happens when two men meet?
Confrontational,
Yes,
same.
like you here to fetch this thing, I'm here to make sure that it stays here, but we both have Moorse rifles on us. We're going to shoot each other. So
it's basically based on the skill, the one will prevail based on your skill. Like if you beat a shooter.
Look, I had the privilege of meeting people from both sides.
Okay.
And I can't tell you which one's going to win. It's like South Africa, our Navy's got the Sarki Baatman, we've got another boat, we've got the yellow boats that actually drops off from those boats to catch poachers, but yet you'll still find peerlemon and crayfish readily available.
Yeah.
So you can't actually say who's going to win.
On Marketplace Facebook.
Yeah.
Go search.
On Marketplace Facebook. Yes, Pearly up Facebook.
Yeah. Gerard, what is the cost to this the sort of hobby that you have? Because I know, like, just from what you were saying, it sounds like it's expensive.
It's a bit expensive. I've been blessed now to be sponsored or endorsed. So my traveling, flights to Joburg, my accommodation, my food, even all the rounds that I shoot at certain farms is all covered. I don't even fly with my own rifle. I get a rifle over there because it's been a long time dream of mine to shoot my way into the Paralympics, obviously.
Yeah. So.
Like Oscar did.
Oh.
Yeah, he shot his way out of
What's the feeling like, man, when you hold the rifle in your hand and you take that shot? Speaking of nooit the rifle geskiet het, even down from the Cape Flats.
If you never held something big in your hand, you can go with me to the toilet quickly. No, I'm sorry. Look, I shot many different guns. Actually a handgun specialist, but for the last 2 years I've been studying a bit of the rifle trickies. But the rifle that I shot now, the 375, the bullet is about that long. You are on my first week that I went shooting on that rifle, I'm only allowed to shoot 3 shots for the day because it's so intense on your shoulder. They didn't actually want me to shoot it because I only weigh 75 kilos and I sit in a wheelchair. So like, nee, jy kan nie hierdie fucking algeweer skiet nie, van jy gaan omval. So I'm like, hallo oom, I'm gonna fucking
my brakes aan.
Yeah, no. The trick actually, smart that you said that. The trick actually was me putting my brakes off. Because you must remember, it is an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. So if my brakes is on, then the energy stops and I'm told to the back. So now I shoot with my brakes being off.
Okay.
So after the
recoil,
poof, then my chair just rolls a little bit to the back. Yeah, but that's there's nothing that can prepare you for the sound of a 375 rifle. Not the fuck, man, bro. It goes through your soul, man.
Kijk, your show, your upcoming show.
On September 11th.
Why the date and why?
Yes, I knew you were going to ask
Twin Towers.
And what's it about and who's it different than the others?
Look, I was fortunate enough to be on your podcast before COVID-19 started, just on the brink of COVID-19. And I don't know if you can remember much what I said, but I kind of felt that somebody smart out there is killing the world. You know what I mean? So September 11th was a day that stood out to me because there's a lot of strange things that happened in our life cycle on September 11th. Libya, I think, I speak under correction, but Libya was invaded on September 11th. I speak under correction, but Muhammad Gaddafi was assassinated, which was the last president of a Islamic nation, I think, that whoever the powers that be does not have their claws into. So September 11th to me was always a very funny day, if I can put it to you like that. Nostradamus spoke about the Twin Towers. I think it's made a slight reference in the Bible as well. But there was a lot of funny things around there. Look, I'm a foil hatter. You know, I say it every time I'm here. I wear a foil hat, me and my teddy bear. He's got a foil hat to keep us safe from 5G. But the Twin Towers, when the buildings went down, China bought the debris.
Serious?
Yeah, you must Google this kak, my bro. China bought the debris. So if a crime like that has to happen, then obviously we must investigate a little bit more. We can't just say, okay, that plane went in there. There must still some form of
Some
investigation.
substance to what?
Because they need to know what happened, like what went wrong.
Yeah, and did you check the steel?
The steel
that
was molten.
That building is not a glass building. It's not a mortar building, which we in South Africa call cement. It is a steel building.
Yeah.
So I come from the steel industry. Secret Place is built with steel beams. We first build the I-beams or H-beams, depending on how the beam is. It's an I-beam or it's an H-beam.
Yeah.
But it's weight-bearing beams, and it's cock strong, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way in fucking hell, if you anyone that can count 1 + 1, then you will know that a plane can't take down that building. So I just think that
it was actually built like to withstand multiple airplane crashes into it.
Yeah, so I actually think that September 11th is just a real funny day. So that's why on September 11th.
So is your show
It's the bomb.
tinfoil daddies, the show itself? Or?
Not really, because look, I don't want to impose my thought on or my beliefs on somebody else. So I'm gonna just keep it jazzy frizzle my nizzle. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep it loose like a goose. But certain things I'm gonna try and write into it a little bit because I always try and find the balance between being. You don't want to be cuck funny with no point, and you don't want to make a point because it's not a seminar. I'm a comedian. So the perfect joke, I actually think, is a little bit of wisdom and then a little bit of fuckery on there to make it funny. You know what I mean? So, but something I also learned now recently in my last 5 years was instead of making statements, ask questions. So a lot of questions I will ask on September 11th. I'm not going to make statements anymore. And you always hear me say I speak under correction because I don't want to tell you. I just want to
You want to plant a seed there.
That's it. You must go check it yourself, and the next time you see me, then you must like, oh, you know what? You're actually wrong about that, or you were actually right about that. But then it sends you in a certain direction.
Well, like just for those that will be watching this prior to the actual show, if you want to do yourself a favor and just get up to par or speed on what we're talking about pertaining to the Twin Towers and stuff, watch the documentary called Zeitgeist.
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 I think messed me up, bruh. Mentally, I was like,
More than what you are. So it's just add
more
it.
than what I am already. Like, it made me question a lot of shit, bro.
I think that's the most important thing is like once you go out and seek the knowledge, I mean, that's one of the pillars of hip hop as well, is like knowledge of self. Go out and find and educate yourself based on not just following the media and whatever else is out there, what they feed you, what they want you to believe. Because if you, like even speaking about Libya and Muhammad Gaddafi, we were led to believe that this guy was so shit. In fact, it was like one of the most progressive countries in Africa. Was the gold standard?
He was the only, Saddam Hussein tried it, and then obviously some shit happened there, and long story short, war crimes and whatever. But Gaddafi said he had a very strong policy that he wanted to bring across to Africa just before he died. And this was his policy. His policy was, we are earning money in South African rands. Now, a rand is only, we used the word earlier, a pheno currency, right? Your paper is obviously the amount of gold you have in the reserve bank. Yeah. So the money we have is a pheno currency. So we are working for a pheno currency that's called a rand, which is at a boosted disposition to the dollar and the pound. But yet we're living in a dollar and a pound
World.
mentality and a world. You know what I mean? You wear Diesel, you wear Prada, you use Pioneer, you want an Apple Mac. That stuff, it's designed by the dollar and it's sold by the dollar. Yeah. So we had to move to disadvantage. So what that player wanted to do is he was going to say like, stop them from buying our nutrients and our resources with their dollar and let them buy it for what it really fucking is. You know what I mean? Because you giving us a receipt of cuck that you don't even have, where we must actually give you something, and in the long game we lose. We just Africa is the richest fucking continent on the planet, and yet we are the poorest. How does that even make sense? How do we feed the whole world but we don't have fucking foko?
It's like our diamonds also. They take our diamonds, no? And dan moet ons die diamonds terugkoop basically.
And that's with everything. That's with everything. Like you and a good example is our steel, and we exported raw, and then we have to buy it in a finished product. We could actually, if we wanted to, we design it in a particular way, like this piece of thing here. We make it here. And we say, okay, now we want this amount of money, but we give the power then to them. Then we have to now negotiate with them.
No,
or
sir,
they demand us to pay a certain
I
amount.
fully agree with everything you said. We're just going to take out one word there. We're going to take the word give away there.
No, we don't give.
We don't give it to them.
No,
they
take
give it
it.
to us. Or they take it.
They take it.
Better put yeah. We didn't come to the table say, okay, Kwai, I'm not going to work. Like I went to Swaziland a few years ago, right? To go buy dacha and experience dacha. And like that. Yes, I wear a short t-shirt, I can say dacha, man. That's fine. But when I came there, I wanted a chessboard because I like to play chess. And so I asked this brah, how much for the chessboard? He's like 380 rand. This chessboard was crafted out of wood. I looked at it and I looked at him because he was busy there making a manachine. I asked him, King, how long does it take you to make one of these pieces? He's like, nah, about all in all complete with the sanding and the design of everything, about maybe 2 days. It was like, oh, and I chopped the wood. And 2 days per piece is 32 pieces or some shit like that, and the board. So I look at it, I'm like, bro, this is a month and a half of week. So
For 300 rand.
For 300 rand. I'm from Cape Town. At 300 rand is maar net a bottle Jack Daniels and an apple ties and a Monster. Klaar, like it. That's your 380 gone. So here somebody's trading his 30 days of manual labor for that. So somewhere somebody's got game. May not be Africa, but somebody's got game.
Oh, yeah.
Jared, I wanted to ask you something. Like, well, it's not. I've been to a couple of your shows, and I personally, this is my personal view. I think, like for me, listening to you, you got funny or very funny. Sorry for the swear word, but you have a very dark comedy to you. So for example, my wife is like, oh, you shouldn't have said that like that. Like what? Based on COVID-19 right now, and I see you again going to the dark side of things with your next show, 9/11. Would you categorize yourself as that kind of comedian? Are you comfortable being that dark comedian? No, seriously, because I mean, I remember the night I saw you at
Secret Place.
Yeah, not a Secret Place. Inside.
Inside Out, yeah?
Yeah, and I mean, I was like, yo, this is, like for me, it's like, yo, I can take that one, I'm gonna enjoy that, But for most people, it might not be, given the fact that we're quite sensitive in our country. We're super sensitive any kak.
South Africa and Cape Town, our comedy culture is very young. And that's why I don't make any pedophile jokes.
Charlie?
Yeah.
No.
Avataring today.
I can get lucky, son.
Yeah, but I can tell you why I did that, and that started a long time ago. Okay, Kwais, I was a little bit of a Demaka, Baikachina, and a Dacha copy, so I always like to push the envelope if we can put it like that. But what does your brain automatically do when you see somebody in a wheelchair? You go, oh, shame.
The empathy, sympathy.
Yes, and the broken bird effect goes into your mind. What I do is I set that record straight within my first minute on the stage. I'm not here knocking at your door saying, please do. No. So I add a little bit of more hakkiesdraad to it so that you can feel it. But then when you feel it, I also have your attention. I wouldn't consider myself a Madeline Manson type of guy. I'm not drinking cat blood at home. Prefer chihuahuas. But I'm not a dog, brah.
Yeah.
And the objective of my job and of my hobby is to make you laugh.
Yeah.
So whether I used a very dark example of the world's fastest no-legged man shooting his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. That is a cut joke. That Oscar Pistorius joke, that's a tough thing to pull.
Yeah.
I throw it, I'm disabled, he's disabled, I throw it, some of the audience like, and others. But now I'm taking you to the point. The point is like, don't look at us any differently. You know what I mean? Yeah, was a boy with no legs and became the fastest man on the planet, and he also shot his girlfriend and lied.
He had two very good skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to shake off this babalas. Weet jy wat ek het? Dus ek wil vra maar
Ze gaan baie edit vandag. Ze gaan baie edit mee worden.
so dat is nie waar.
You missed the spot when you shaved. He's like, what had a distracted me since yesterday already.
You fucking say it now.
Fingers when I came in, I did see that. He did have some white. He did have some white on his cheek, but I thought that the two of you were alone here earlier. It's a big table. I don't know who's the boss and who's looking for promotion.
Who shagged me?
Is dat nou klaar? Ik is zo bang als ik deze
Kijk
kant
je dat? What was Nantal's? What did Fingaz was yesterday? Kijk je, don't mind if a dusty guy is so bitchy on it. Don't take it personal because you know.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be one way. Supposed to be gaat maken met jullie. Die andere way om, hè.
How has COVID-19 affected you over the last period of time? Because I mean, like, not just as a comedian. I mean, like, just in general. Because we've had a lot of people on here ask questions. That, COVID-19. But I mean, we've always asked the question specific to who the person is, a comedian or. Yeah. But just in general, obviously comedy as well. But how?
Yeah, dan is. Zij het maar die weed show. What was now specifically, but I know you got stuff running. Besides the show itself, how does it affect that underlining thing also?
Everything with COVID-19 has just taken a drastic hit. So there's some business modules that can outlive the COVID-19 and the devastation, and some just cannot. I was trying to run a comedy club. I was trying to run it for 9 years, but I was running it. I don't drive a M5 or Maranello, but I was doing what I love to do. When COVID-19 sticked, I had no choice. I had the last comedy show in Cape Town. I had it, and I wanted to be the first one. So after COVID-19, I said it on the stage, this is the last show, and I want to be the guy that's going to be at the first show. But COVID-19 fucked us all up, because what was the first thing that they told us? Just 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then 4 weeks turned into 6 months. So I had money, I had a fuckload of money, my bro. I could sustain myself at least for 4 weeks and 6 days.
Yeah.
And I was in my books like everyone else. Fucked up. My club had to close. Every day we're burning through money, but if you're not replenishing that money, you're sinking ship. So unfortunately, I had to close the doors, but I will reopen it again in the new year. But because we're going into season now, we've got some outdoor events coming up.
Okay.
Kijk, dit is nou een tinfoil hat. Type guy, ne? Hoe zien zij die pandemic van met jou oor, basically?
Oh God, really? You want to ask me that?
Let's go there.
Ooh, shit.
Some conspiracy theorists say straight there's no such thing as COVID.
Oh no, there is.
I'm not saying I agree with him, but waar staan zij?
Look, nummer 1, ik sta niks, ik is een rolstoel. Wat is dit? Daar die punt hinder.
Yo, it is Dirk money.
Yeah, we need to be politically correct, you know. COVID-19 is, in not just my opinion, but other people's opinion, it's the biggest mental operation that was run in the whole world. So COVID-19 is the real thing, right? But COVID-19, like I can read it, and how I count it is, it's just like the common flu. So the numbers that we see, COVID-19 is going to kill, that's the same amount of people that it killed last year with the flu.
I said the exact same thing, you know.
Right. So I get that it was out there, I get that certain people died, but I only know one person.
I know.
How many people?
That have started.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, as a result of COVID.
He was in his 50s? No. 60s, I think.
Look, I actually agree with him. I think when it was after a month, I started looking at numbers, man. I think we were like 700 deaths.
Yeah.
And then I was like trying to think.
As of a country out of 40 billion.
50 million.
A million, sorry,
yeah, 50 million. We're having 700 deaths. Okay, cool.
Like how many people die normally?
And then I was checking how much is government putting in, man, to stop this or to try and whatever. 500 billion. I'm like, yo!
But did you know that the World Health Organization pays them for every death certificate with COVID-19 written down as a cause?
Is it?
So even if a shark bites you today, they write cause of death, COVID-19, and then somebody pays them.
And that was the case. Some people.
You got Mr. Bill Gates to thank for that one.
Like on the death certificate, because of death was COVID-19 and it didn't die.
COVID-19 related, yeah.
But so what you say basically is over the lockdown itself was too harsh.
It wasn't too harsh. You must remember, a lot of people even like to talk about our current government. Remember, I'm apolitical, like my brand's called A-Game. I'm apolitical. I like certain policies of both of them, and I don't like certain policies of them. But sometimes it's not incompetence. Sometimes failure is by design. So what has happened now in Cape Town with, how long was lockdown now? 5 months, 6 months?
Going for 6, yeah.
Going for 6 months. Within 6 months, that is a half a year. Cape Town was already a people that barely makes it when we are working.
Yeah.
So now you take our jobs away, we can't fucking go anywhere. It's fucked. So 6 months of debt, how long does it take you to pay 6 months of debt off? If you're living hand to mouth.
Exactly.
So the social economical injustice that COVID-19 brought is going to be more deadly than the fucking people dying.
Yeah, that's
Because they're going to starve. We're starving now. Look at all the clubs. Look at our industry, the DJs and the entertainers. That's fucked.
I think they had to. I think the information on the virus or the virus itself was unknown, man.
No, it was not known.
I think that scared them a bit. Like worldwide, ik praat niet van onze government. Daar is ook al die shutdown gehad, man.
You know what I find completely and utterly strange is that we've never had live footage of somebody experiencing or going through the symptoms of COVID-19. I mean, for a global pandemic, there should have been numerous, multiple media things, but it's not readily available on the news. You've never seen like a carte blanche or whatever saying like, this is like my journey through COVID-19. There's people that spoke about it post-recovery. But you never saw like people like on the ventilators suffering through these symptoms. You do they get it with all other diseases. It's like, kijk that this is AIDS. This is like the symptoms. But I mean, it's like there hasn't been and for me, I think it's been a massive buy-in on a global scale of superpowers saying, look here, we're putting all our citizens under lock. We are going to data mine the shit out of them. And this harks back even to Zeitgeist, which was fucking released like 20, stand under correction, as you say, about 20 years ago, where they say that the human RFID chip is going to be...
I like this though. Never bring him to my house, but I like him here.
No, but it's like, that was discussed then already. It's like where you have a system implanted in all the citizens where your whole basically history is on your medical, financial, etc. So you go into a store, you don't pay with cash out of your wallet, you just scan your chip. But the chip itself will then determine where you are and where you stand in life. So I think this pandemic, so to say.
And thou shalt not buy without the chip.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not sell without the chip.
What I would agree to now is that they deliberately wanted us to fear this thing.
To fear it.
Yeah. It is proven that zinc, vitamin D, and vitamin C,
The D,
yeah, boosts your immune system and it gives you a more fighting chance as it krijgt. Niemand in the media het hy gepush. They would rather push the fear part, you know what I'm saying? But
they've
never said like, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, kan ek nogal sê, nah, something is fishy.
Because,
you know what I'm saying?
Like in regards to that, weet vir jou gesê, kykie, dat jou immuunstelsel swak maak, soos jy moet wat diepel, hier's immune boosters wat perfectly werk tegen COVID-19. So that's any.
No, they want you to buy a specific product, and that product's going to cost the government fucking millions to get it in because all the stuff doing trial runs is the World Health Organization saying now the countries that's producing it mustn't stockpile it. I mean, I think when America started with the hydrochlorine, fucking basically. I don't know what the
pool is it.
Pool is it. What they basically said is like, I think one of the other countries like bought up all the fucking stock already. So for me, it's fear-mongering. And it's a proven tactic used time and time again to justify global invasions. They basically go and say, case in point, oil. Iraq, weapons of mass destruction. Not a fucking single weapon of mass destruction was found, but they fucking spent billions sending the US army in to fucking placate the people. Basically, it was just to go in and get the oil reserves. So now you
and the
creating panic.
Poppy fields as well.
Oh yeah.
Afghanistan, definitely.
Afghanistan.
And fucking it's been proven time and time again in numerous documentaries of how the CIA sponsored Escobar. So like they utilize drugs, whatever form of currency or commodity there is there, in order to take control and destabilize the country. Maak je mensen mal makkelijk just while you go in the back door and you're fucking stealing. Robbing them blind. So like, just make no qualms about it. Democracy works for those in economic power. And whatever their agenda is will be played out on the global stage. So obviously South Africa had to agree to buy into this whole thing. And they were probably told, okay, here's your profit share. This is what you can make on the side. You're now diverting 500 million to pay for PPE cut for something that doesn't necessarily exist.
Billion, yeah.
So, and at the same time, they're already robbing us blind. All the tenders, everything is overinflated. So my bro, this is for the rich. It's not for the poor. I'm giving somebody a 350 rand grant. What the fuck is 350 rand?
But when last has something been for the poor?
That's the thing. We're talking here, and like you can, regardless of if you, I would say, this whole thing has exposed itself for the class differences within our country, or in the world, period. Yeah. And that class difference doesn't even equate to people. I'm talking of countries now.
Yeah.
You'll get the countries that make the decision, say, and then you get the others that say, okay, yes, boss.
You just toe the line. Yeah.
We know you're gonna give us again our grant, your international grant from the World Monetary Bank, whatever, or America.
Yeah, basically just make sure you get indebted to us.
Exactly. So for me, this whole COVID thing that showed that. That's the first thing. The second thing is I think it's real. I always like.
It's real.
It's real.
I think it's real, and I think it's a man-made.
Yeah. I don't think it's man-made. I think it was just some bats that was really just and got a bit out of hand, and then some. Let me cut this thing out and tweet. There we go.
I think it's. I don't think it's man-made, but I think it presented all the governments an opportunity om nou kak aan te vangen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like a blanket statement. There's a blank check.
Ze kan zien dat die ANC die ding gebruik against die DA. Om vir hulle beetje in die States en ze kan zien die Democrats het het weer gebruik against Trump om vir hom te laat swak dat het lyk. So ja, maar dat is politics man. Het is net
Jeffrey Epstein motherfuckers.
That nigga ain't dead. That nigga ain't dead.
Ik denk het zo.
I think it was the same case locally when we had who's it?
No. Wat in die accident geweest het by
Kamer accident, ja. Wat was zijn naam? Het zo snaaks.
Juju.
No man.
Ja.
The bride was Bosasa.
Oh, yes.
Chappie, whatever his name is.
Yeah, yes.
Krap nou diep nou, jong.
The white bra.
Yeah,
he almost pimped him and then he was.
No, not the greasy. The other bra.
Yes, from the airport he almost came out and he was in that accident with the hired car or some crap like that.
The thing is,
there's no footage.
The thing is, like the case with Jeffrey Epstein is that there was the FBI swooped in to his apartment and got all that tapes because apparently there was hidden cameras in all the rooms.
Yeah, but there was also 4 computers.
Yeah,
and there were only hard drives recovered from 1, I think, or 2. But you could see that the storage has been taken out.
They hold that footage basically to release it at certain time.
No, they won't release it. They'll use it as
leverage. They're not going to release it because, like, look at who was on that plane. It was.
Did you check the video with Douglas?
I'm not going to say. I was like, I can't remember things.
Trump
really
was also involved.
Huh?
Trump was also involved. He was a regular visitor to the island.
Did you see the video with Prince Andrew?
Now you see.
Hy praat as sien hy's guilty.
Ja, but sy guilt het volkom in die prys van eers te doen nie. What you need to focus on there is you need to know that his mother is the queen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Her face is on a fucking currency.
Grandmother.
His grandmother is the queen. Her face is on a currency.
Grandmother.
Yeah, well, I'm just busy quickly.
Mother of Prince Charles.
Yeah, I'll talk to you now, okay?
En Andrew.
Salut, my vriendie.
Away.
Okay, see you later. Okay, give me like 30 minutes, okay? These guys they want to show whose penis is the biggest. I don't know why I'm here. It's like, they must invite the cripple, bro.
Dolly, baby.
I'll see you later. Safe. Bye.
Why you have to mention me?
That was this guy
That was
talking to us earlier. Yeah, he was telling us like, about his explosions and sucker goed. He's actually
one
Free
shot
Willy's
wonder.
daddy.
It wasn't me, no? It wasn't me.
Yeah, but Jeffrey Epstein, that sex enslavement island there that the mains had going, and then after that, this Pizzagate cuck comes out, and now after that, somehow we hear about this lady doing blood art, and the images in the behind her is maybe like real human limbs, and then just. Now when the president of South Africa says, julle kan nou eentjies kry en julle kan nou fucking wyn drink, no words necessary, there's a fucking asteroid coming.
But yeah. So Owen, so yeah, check out September 11th. Look forward.
12. Is it a one-man show? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, one-man show. I'm gonna do one-man show time, which is more than 45 minutes. My last one I did 90 minutes, just with a crowd, which was really befuck. Because like I had like what you call writer's block. So I didn't write anything, and the longer I couldn't write anything, the closer we're getting to the show, and nerves was kicking in. Then I went into depression because I went to hospital, dead on arrival, fucking kidney failure, sucker.
When did it happen?
Maybe last year.
I remember.
Last year, but that was fucking creepy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So a night before my show, I just went to my friend's place by the beach. I sat in the treehouse all night, looked at the moon, watched the sun come up.
That's romantic.
Nah, I did it alone, man, bro.
Super romantic.
5 tackle 1. I'll now show you the art of Wu-Tang stroke.
Anyway, thank you so much, Babbling Heads. It's been.
Ik enjoy your spirit, dude. Really, I enjoy your spirit. It's altijd so.
So kan my spirit koop. Is baie duur. It's called a Drina Crown. Google it.
Anyway, guys, let's sign up. You got the beat spill.
Yes. From the Babbling Heads, straight from the top of the dome. This is your host, Debates 187, bringing to you live.
Professor Steenkamp.
That's amazing. What is dope from the tree? Yeah.
The Babbling Heads Podcast.
Peace.